Hello, everyone. Fresh rumors about Meghan Markle and Prince Harry are once again stirring up major controversy. This time, the buzz focuses on the legitimacy of Archie and Lilibet's ties to the royal family. Allegedly, King Charles III has uncovered information that casts doubt on the children's royal heritage, leaving Meghan reportedly anxious about what might come next. The idea that the Sussex children's connection to the monarchy could be in question has sent shockwaves through royal circles. As expected, Meghan is back in the spotlight, caught in yet another public storm she likely didn't anticipate. What's striking is how she often finds herself in these situations, despite her repeated desire for privacy and a quieter life outside royal attention. The timing of these rumors is also curious. Meghan has shown a knack for shaping public narratives to fit her goals, but this particular development challenges the very foundation of her and Harry's relationship with the monarchy. The claim that King Charles has demanded proof of Archie and Lilibet's lineage has become more than just gossip, it's a full-blown crisis for Meghan. After all, what could be more devastating to her public image than doubts about her children's royal identity? The possibility of losing the privileges she's fought to keep must be a terrifying thought. For someone who has distanced herself from the royal family, Meghan seems more than willing to enjoy its perks when it suits her. But let's be honest, this is Meghan. She has rarely missed a chance to frame herself as a victim, and now reports suggest she's panicking over King Charles' alleged ultimatum. Why? Because her entire image hinges on that royal connection. Without the titles, without the aura of being linked to the most famous family in the world, her carefully crafted brand could crumble. Who is Meghan Markle? A former actress whose most famous role was marrying a prince only to publicly tear down the very institution that gave her that spotlight. The irony here is hard to miss. For years, Meghan has branded herself as a champion of independence, rejecting the outdated customs of the monarchy to embrace a more modern, progressive life. And yet, reports now suggest she's deeply concerned about the possibility of her children losing their royal status. It's a glaring contradiction. If Meghan were truly committed to carving her own path, the fear of losing those titles wouldn't matter. To be so terrified of losing what she supposedly walked away from raises a deeper question. Why is King Charles reportedly pushing this issue? Some might say it's part of a broader effort to protect the integrity of the royal family. After all, the monarchy is rooted in tradition, lineage, and legacy. If doubts exist about Archie and Lilibet's royal connection, it's only natural those concerns would need to be addressed. If the rumors are true, Meghan has the most to lose. The fallout would be massive. If it turns out the Sussex children aren't entitled to their royal status, the backlash would come swiftly. Meghan, who has already lost favor with much of the British public, could find even her most devoted supporters questioning her intentions. The carefully built narrative of being a victim wronged by the royal family would unravel. And with that narrative gone, Meghan, whose public image depends on it, could find herself with nothing left to stand on. Meghan has always excelled at playing the long game. She knows how to shape public opinion, shift blame, and cast herself as the innocent victim in any scenario, but even she may struggle to turn this situation in her favor. For all its flaws, the royal family commands a level of respect and authority that Meghan simply can't match. If King Charles is indeed demanding answers, her usual tactics of deflection and distraction might not work this time. What's truly revealing about this situation is how it highlights the fragility of Meghan's position. Despite all her talk of independence and breaking free from royal traditions, her relevance still hinges on her connection to the monarchy. Without that link, Meghan likely would have faded into obscurity long ago. Now, with rumors circulating about the legitimacy of her children's royal status, she faces the possibility of that connection being cut off for good. It's easy to see why Meghan is reportedly so unsettled by this alleged ultimatum. If Archie and Lilibet lose their royal titles, it's more than just a hit to their standing, it strikes at the heart of her identity. Meghan has crafted her public image around the idea that she and Harry are rebels challenging the monarchy's outdated ways, all while keeping one foot firmly inside the institution. But if that tie is severed, what remains? A couple who abandoned their duties and lost the very thing that gave them influence. Responsibilities abandoned, only to find themselves without the prestige and power they so clearly crave. And what about Harry, the prince who once said he longed for a quiet life away from the royal spotlight, now finds himself a pawn in Meghan's game? His identity has always been tied to his royal roots, and the thought of his children losing their royal status must be a bitter pill to swallow. but Harry made his choices and now he has to live with the consequences. If King Charles is indeed demanding proof of the children's lineage, it's because the monarchy cannot afford to let its legacy be marred by doubt and scandal. Though Harry may have stepped away from his duties, he cannot escape the impact of his actions. The controversy surrounding Archie and Lilibet's royal status is more than idle gossip. It marks a potential turning point in the ongoing drama between Meghan, Harry, and the royal family. If these claims are true, it wouldn't just damage Meghan's credibility, it would also cast doubt on the future of the Sussex children. For someone who has spent years carefully managing her public image, the possibility of losing control over this narrative must be terrifying. Meghan's relentless efforts to maintain her royal ties might ultimately be her downfall. She has spent so much time trying to have it both ways, claiming independence while holding on to royal privileges, that she now finds herself in a no-win situation. If King Charles' reported ultimatum brings the truth to light, Meghan's carefully built image will crumble, leaving her to face the fallout of her own decisions. It would be a fitting conclusion to Meghan's story, a woman who rose to fame by marrying into one of the world's most powerful families, only to become ensnared in a web of her own making. The question now is, will Meghan finally face the consequences of her actions, or will she once again find a way to avoid accountability? Only time will tell, but one thing is certain: the royal family has no intention of letting this scandal quietly fade into the background. As we navigate deeper into the complexities of Meghan Markle's strategic moves within the royal family, it becomes impossible to ignore the layers of manipulation and pretense that have marked her every step. Meghan has meticulously crafted an image of victimhood to present to the world, cleverly deflecting attention from her true intentions. This level of calculated behavior speaks volumes. Her actions seem designed not just to protect her public image, but to subtly undermine the very institution she chose to join. Meghan's strategy goes beyond manipulation. It positions her as a martyr, always shifting blame for her missteps and failures onto others. A key element in her playbook is her obsession with controlling the narrative. Despite frequent complaints about invasions of privacy, her ability to manipulate the media is one of her strongest weapons. Time and again, we've seen her expertly redirect attention away from her own behavior, pointing fingers at the royal family or anyone who dares to challenge her. Who can forget the infamous Oprah interview? With rehearsed tears and carefully measured responses, Meghan portrayed herself as the ultimate victim. But this wasn't an innocent plea for sympathy, it was a calculated move to tarnish the monarchy's reputation while boosting her own. Her manipulation goes far beyond the media. Meghan's interactions with key members of the royal family further expose her insidious tactics, revealing a pattern of behavior designed to elevate herself at the expense of others. Meghan's relationship with Catherine, the Princess of Wales, is a prime example of her calculated attempts to undermine a respected and beloved figure. Instead of embracing her role within the family and working toward unity, Meghan has repeatedly fueled division. She has often leaked selective, one-sided versions of events that cast her in a positive light while tarnishing those around her. Consider the well-known bridesmaid dress incident. What should have remained a private disagreement was turned into a public scandal, with Meghan ensuring that Catherine came across as the villain. But ask yourself who benefits from this endless drama. It's certainly not the royal family. Adding to the scrutiny is Meghan's attitude toward royal titles and privileges. For someone who claims she wanted a normal life outside the royal bubble, she seems fixated on holding on to every royal connection she can. Even after stepping away from royal duties, Meghan continues to use the title of Duchess of Sussex to gain favor, leveraging it in Hollywood and other circles to unlock doors that might otherwise have remained closed to her. This duality, playing the victim while exploiting her royal status, only reinforces the perception that Meghan's goal was never to serve, but to benefit. And then there's her relentless pursuit of fame. Her actions following the couple's exit from royal life reveal an ongoing ambition to remain in the spotlight, despite claims to the contrary. Instead of retreating from the public eye as she claimed to want, Meghan has actively sought high-profile deals with media giants like Netflix and Spotify. These partnerships aren't driven by a genuine desire to make a positive impact on the world, as she often states, but rather a calculated effort to secure her place in the global spotlight. Let's be clear, Meghan's ambition has never centered on philanthropy or service. It's always been about fame. Every move she makes suggests someone who thrives on attention and craves public adoration, even as she disparages the very platform that helps her achieve it. We also cannot overlook the role Harry plays in this intricate setup. Some might argue that he is merely a pawn in Meghan's game, a once beloved royal who has been reduced to her sidekick in an endless pursuit of relevance. But that perspective might be too generous. Harry has played an active role in every aspect of this journey, from the explosive interviews to the behind-the-scenes efforts that have aimed to damage the reputation of his own family. He has chosen to support Meghan's endless grievances and participated in their tell-all book, Spare. His actions reflect a man who has fully aligned himself with Meghan's destructive ambitions, even if it means undermining the very institution that shaped him. One of the most troubling aspects of Meghan's character is her total disregard for tradition and duty. Being part of the royal family isn't just about wearing crowns and attending glamorous events, it's about understanding the deep-rooted history and responsibilities that accompany the role. Yet Meghan has treated her title as a mere stepping stone, something to exploit for her own benefit, before casting it aside when it no longer suited her. This blatant disrespect for the monarchy, combined with her shameless desire to profit from her royal connections, reveals her true character. Then there's her relationship with the British public. Meghan has repeatedly framed herself as someone unfairly targeted by the British media, suggesting that the scrutiny she faced stemmed from racism or xenophobia. However, a closer look shows that the public's initial fascination with her quickly shifted to skepticism, not due to her background, but because of her behavior. The British people value humility, respect for tradition, and a sense of duty, all qualities that Meghan has consistently failed to embody. Instead, she has often come across as self-serving, further alienating those who once welcomed her. Meghan has chosen to adopt a victim mentality, framing every critique as a personal attack. In reality, the public has simply seen through her facade. What's most concerning about Meghan's actions is the lasting damage she has done to the royal family as an institution. The monarchy, already under significant pressure to modernize and remain relevant, has had to contend with the fallout from her choices. Her decision to expose the royal family's private matters on a global stage has fostered a level of scandal and public distrust that will take years, if not decades, to mend. While Meghan continues to earn millions from her media deals, the royal family is left to pick up the pieces, their reputation tarnished by the very woman who once claimed she wanted nothing more than to be a part of their world. Perhaps the most revealing aspect of Meghan's true intentions lies in her behavior toward her own family. While Meghan has portrayed the royal family as cold and unwelcoming, her treatment of her own father, Thomas Markle, tells a different story. Here is a man who, by all accounts, adored his daughter. Yet Meghan has chosen to cut him out of her life completely, refusing to reconcile despite his public pleas for forgiveness. If she cannot find it in herself to show compassion toward her own father, how can anyone believe she intended to foster meaningful relationships within the royal family? Since marrying into the royal family, Meghan Markle's actions have been nothing short of destructive. From her calculated media appearances to her manipulation of public opinion, she has consistently prioritized her own fame and fortune over the well-being of the family she joined. Her disregard for tradition, obsession with control, and relentless pursuit of victimhood have left a lasting scar on the monarchy. As critics, we can only continue to expose the truths surrounding Meghan Markle and ensure that the world sees her for who she truly is, a master manipulator who will stop at nothing to achieve her own selfish goals. The saga of Meghan Markle and the British royal family, especially regarding the latest rumors about the legitimacy of her children, Archie and Lilibet, is a complex tale with manipulation, contradictions, and a relentless pursuit of fame. As we explore this narrative, it becomes clear that Meghan has constructed a self-serving story that consistently casts her as a victim while simultaneously exploiting the very institution she claims to reject. Her ability to manipulate narratives to suit her agenda has been evident since her entry into royal life. From explosive revelations in high-profile interviews to her strategic media appearances, she has consistently shown a talent for redirecting public discourse. However, this situation presents a unique challenge. If King Charles' alleged demands are true, the implications for Meghan are significant. The potential fallout could undermine her carefully crafted persona, which heavily relies on the royal connection she both denounces and embraces. So, who is Meghan Markle? She is a former actress who once captured global attention through her marriage to a prince, but has since become a polarizing figure. The irony of Meghan's situation is striking. She has positioned herself as a symbol of modernity and independence, yet her current distress highlights a troubling contradiction. If she truly believed in forging her own path, would she be so unsettled by the possibility of her children losing their royal titles? This scenario raises important questions about Meghan's commitment to the ideals she promotes. The real issue seems to be her desperate clinging to the very institution she has spent years criticizing. Moreover, the timing of these rumors is suspect. Why would King Charles bring this issue to light now? Some might argue that it reflects a broader strategy to uphold the royal family's integrity and institution built on tradition and lineage, but it also marks a moment of reckoning for Meghan as the monarchy seeks to address uncertainties that could tarnish its legacy. The reality is clear: Meghan stands to lose the most in this situation. Her past attempts to portray herself as a martyr may not resonate with a public increasingly hungry for accountability. Imagining the fallout from questioning the Sussex children's royal status is enough to send shivers down the spine of any royalist. For Meghan, the consequences would be catastrophic. The carefully crafted narrative of victimhood that she has maintained would unravel in the face of such a scandal, revealing her true self: a woman who has leveraged her royal connection for personal gain while simultaneously denouncing the very institution that gave her a platform. Meghan's public relations approach has always involved playing the long game. She knows how to manipulate public perception, redirect blame, and position herself as the wronged party. Yet this time, even her skills may falter. The royal family, despite its flaws, commands a level of respect and authority that she cannot replicate. If King Charles decides to pursue this matter, Meghan's usual deflection tactics will likely prove ineffective. The fragility of her position has never been more evident. For all her talk about independence and breaking free from royal constraints, she remains tied to the monarchy for her relevance. Without that connection, she risks fading into obscurity, a fate she fiercely opposes. The swirling rumors about her children's royal legitimacy highlight the harsh reality of her situation. Her identity is intertwined with that of the monarchy, and losing that link would be detrimental to her carefully curated public persona. In this context, Harry's role cannot be overlooked. Once a beloved prince, he now seems caught in Meghan's web of ambition. The idea that their children might lose their royal status must weigh heavily on him. Yet Harry has also made his choices. By distancing himself from royal duties, he cannot escape the consequences of Meghan's actions. If King Charles seeks proof of their lineage, it underscores a commitment to uphold the royal family's integrity, which has been jeopardized by the Sussexes' choices. The implications of this unfolding drama extend far beyond personal distress. If the allegations prove true, Meghan's credibility is at stake, along with the futures of her children. The public's perception, already strained due to Meghan's behavior and attitudes toward the monarchy, could suffer even more. For a woman who has spent years curating a narrative of victimhood, the possibility of losing control over the story is undoubtedly alarming. The desperation with which Meghan clings to her royal connections is almost tangible. Despite her claims of wanting a normal life, she seems utterly unwilling to relinquish the privileges that come with her title. This contradiction highlights a profound hypocrisy in her stance. Meghan's public persona has been built on a foundation of independence, yet her relentless pursuit of royal association undermines her claims. This pattern of behavior paints a picture of a woman unwilling to give up the benefits of her royal ties while simultaneously portraying herself as a victim of the institution. Another critical aspect of Meghan's narrative is her quest for fame and relevance. Instead of retreating from the public eye, she has aggressively pursued high-profile media deals, demonstrating an insatiable appetite for attention. Meghan's actions speak to a desire to remain in the spotlight rather than step back from it. Ambitions rooted not in altruism but in a desire for celebrity status reveal Meghan's true motivations. She is a woman who thrives in the spotlight while attempting to discredit the very platform that catapulted her to fame. Meghan's blatant disregard for tradition and duty is perhaps one of her most egregious offenses. The royal family embodies a legacy that extends far beyond the individual, yet she has treated her role as a mere stepping stone. This disregard reflects a lack of respect for an institution steeped in history, and her pursuit of fame at the expense of tradition showcases the depths of her ambition. Moreover, Meghan's treatment of her own family reveals another layer of her character. While she has painted the royal family as cold and unwelcoming, her relationships, particularly with her estranged father, highlight a different narrative. The disconnect between her public persona and private actions raises questions about her authenticity and intentions. Meghan's complex relationship with the royal family underscores her continual struggle for validation and relevance. It serves as a stark reminder of the dangers of crafting a narrative without considering the long-term implications. In her quest for independence, Meghan has ensnared herself in a web of her own making, one that threatens to unravel at the slightest provocation. The question remains, how long can she continue to manipulate the narrative before the truth prevails? As time goes on, the world watches closely, waiting for the next chapter in this enthralling, if tumultuous saga. Regardless of one's perspective, it's clear that her actions have profoundly impacted the reputation of the royal family and her relationship with the public. Let's stay tuned for what unfolds next in this ongoing saga. Don't forget to like, comment, and share your thoughts on everything that has transpired. Subscribe to our channel so you won't miss any exciting updates. Thank you for watching.